Hey everyone, Garbage here. So, if you keep up with gaming current events, then you probably already heard the news that a bunch of games are either being canceled or are planned to be canceled in a very short amount of time. For example, Apex Legends Mobile is going to be shut down in about 3 months. And you might be thinking, well, what the heck is going on here? What is causing all of this to happen? And to be honest, I don't know the exact cause. But I do have a hypothesis. You see, during the pandemic, the gaming industry saw a huge spike in new gamers. We're all in lockdown, and a lot of people found that they now have way more free time on their hands to get into new hobbies like gaming. I'm willing to bet that the business execs at these game companies saw this growth in the market and said, hey, we got to be making a whole bunch of new games to cash in on these new players. And so they greenlit a whole bunch of new projects, hoping to cash in about 3 or 4 years' time. Well, it's been about 3 or 4 years. And instead of continuing this growth, now people are starting to return back to their jobs, and a lot of people are finding that they don't have nearly as much free time to play games anymore. And so maybe it's possible that the growth in the gaming industry has slowed down, but these game companies realize, hey, we got a bunch of games still in the pipeline and they might not make as much money as we had hoped. And so they made the decision to cancel a bunch of games. Because one thing that game companies do not want to do is oversaturate the market with too many games. Because if you do, you end up with a situation where there are more games to play than there are players to play them. And when that happens, everyone suffers. And I think that's probably the reason why Apex Legends Mobile is getting shut down, because at the end of the day, it is a competitor to Apex for console and PC. They're two completely separate games. There's no cross progression. They have different battle passes, they have different content. If you're into Apex, how likely do you think it is that you're going to buy two separate battle passes for two versions of the same game? And also, how likely do you think it is that you'll have enough time to level them both up to a high enough level to make it worth the money? Like, I can barely get through one battle pass normally, let alone two. I just don't see it happening. And so maybe what's possible is that EA is seeing that when people buy a battle pass for one version of Apex, it negatively affects the sale of battle passes for the other version or something like that. And as a result, they decided to shut it down. But what do you think? Is this a plausible explanation for why these games are getting canceled all of a sudden? Or do you think there's something else at play that I'm missing? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below. Links to my Twitter, my Patreon, and everything else down below. And as always, have a nice day.